So hello everyone, welcome to the Law Communicants. This is our new episode of Guidance series, and today's episode are mainly for those people who are seeking their future in the field of law academics. Today we have Dr. Pallavi Gupta ma'am, who is HOD of GemTech. She has over 23 years of experience in academics. She completed her LLB in 1998, completed her LLM in 2000 and attained her PhD in 2007. Till now she has more than 50 publications, national, international and different conferences. It has been an amazing journey with her. So she will be telling her experience, what she thinks about education system and how you people can get motivated to be in the field of law academics. Thank you ma'am, thank you for giving us your auspicious time. So ma'am, our first question would be, since you are the HOD of GemTech, GEMS Institute, what has been your journey throughout to become the HOD of such an auspicious, such a great institution?
Okay, well, I would like to become IAS officer before coming in law discipline, but I could not crack interview round, so I decided to join judiciary. So I did my LLM. After getting over this LLB degree, there was no vacancy in AP, so I decided to join LLM. In the meantime, I have joined academics. I selected as a lecturer in Bundelkhand University. From there, I did my PhD from Rohilkhand University, Bareilly. After that, my interest switched over to academics only. I worked there over 7-8 years in Bundelkhand University, but after getting married, I had to shift in Delhi. Okay. So I left job of Bundelkhand University. Then I joined Amity University. I worked there as an assistant professor for more than 5 years. After that, I joined VIPS, Vivekananda Institute of Public Professional Studies in Pitampura, affiliated to IP University as an associate professor. There also I worked around 4 years. After that, I worked as a HOD here. Since inception, I am HOD here, 2014.
Since 2014 you have been an HOD. So ma'am, being an HOD, you have been an associate professor, you have a good journey. So according to you, are you satisfied with the education system right now? Do you think there is a scope of improvement, or what if there can be done?
Yeah, I can say I am not satisfied 100% with the present legal system. In fact, I want improvement from the side of BCI, that is the approval authority, the controlling authority. Regarding syllabus, curriculum, all over India it is not the uniform syllabus. So I must say BCI must take initiative to make uniform syllabus all over India. And second thing, there must be some age bar to get admission. In law there is no age bar, but it should be. And third, regarding the practical exposure of the students, it should be mandatory for all the students to get involved in internship from the second year onwards. Okay. So if we make the syllabus like this, it may be possible for that.
Okay. So ma'am, we have seen, you are saying few things that these two things should be improved, but we have seen in 3-year or 5-year law course even.
Yeah. So here I would like to say, I must say BCI should decide either to run BA LLB 5-year or BBA LLB whatever, or 3-year course.
Just there should be a single
uniformity. There should be uniformity. And I am in favor of 5-year BA or BBA LLB whatever the program BCI permit, because like the MBBS courses or engineering courses is after 12th standard, students join these courses. So law should be like that. There should be option after graduation you have to go for 3-year LLB, or after 12th you have to go for 5-year LLB. So it should not be. There must be only one
uniform. There is not a uniformity, neither in syllabus, neither in the whole course. Okay, so I'm usually in the last year, like many of us have also faced the same problem, that in many institutions when dissertation is given, the students does not get a proper guidance. Like we only in the last year we are just said that go for the dissertation. Sometimes we are not clear how to proceed
Yes.
with it. So what any suggestion on that how it should
So
be?
here in that sense we are lucky that dissertation is the part of our curriculum, and I must suggest there should be one more thing, that should be the article writing. It should be the part of syllabus, so that it is a baby step, article writing, then the student can go for the dissertation. In JAMTech we conduct 1 week 1 week classes or the workshop to train the students how to write dissertation. Yeah, this is the our, we can say, the steps to train the students. We call expert from outside as well as internal faculty to conduct classes for that.
Okay. Ma'am, like you have also must have felt that, and many of us have also seen that the theory of law and the actual practicality of law are like two different faces of coins.
Yes.
So even in college, that students are not taught how to like properly draft a petition when you have to present in front of judge, or even if a person wants to proceed become a judge, they are not taught the skills of judgment writing and those kind of things. So what do you think that those should be included? How the student should be prepared for the practical life after 3 or 5 years course?
See, again I will say we are lucky we have the syllabus of IP University where there are certain activities included as professional skill development activities as a part of syllabus. So we have to conduct like moot court activities and judgment writing, case analysis, and even legislative drafting. They are part of syllabus. And here again we can say here we have internship program after second year.
Yes.
So if student approach to court, district court, or the advocate, there they can learn how to draft and this. So we can say as per the syllabus, since we have to conduct these activities, so we are running classes as well.
Okay, so you are basically giving a training.
We tried and we did and we are doing.
Okay.
To train the students.
Yes, because it is sometimes it gets very difficult for students as they are just reading the books and the bare acts, and when they get into the practicality, it's completely different.
Yes, that is so bridge the gap between this books, knowledge in the books, and the law in action.
How to apply
it. So these activities are very necessary to be taken care by every school for the students.
Every law school.
And we did.
Okay.
I mean, we do.
So, ma'am, you have completed your LLM in 2000, and back then it was a 2 years course.
Yeah.
And later on it was made 1 year, but now again it has been turned into 2 years course. So there have been pros and cons in both the sides.
Yeah.
So what is your point of view? Whether 1 year was better or 2 year LLM is better?
Well, regarding 1 year LLM, I must say this is just an ornament.
Okay.
This is just an ornament, nothing else. We have semester system everywhere now. When students get involved in 1 year LLM, they just involve in doing exam, and by that time they get the degree, LLM over. In fact, they do not learn the mastery, that is the masters of LLM, masters of law. They do not get this thing. So I am not in favor of 1 year LLM. I am in favor of 2 year LLM.
So what are the pros and cons you see in
of 1 year LLM?
On both the sides.
1 year LLM, I am just saying this is just an ornament.
Okay.
Nothing
so
else.
there you
Nothing
don't
else.
see any good point of view.
No good point is there. This is just an ornament. If a student want to show their CV, yes, they have done LLM.
Okay.
So I am not in that favor. Even I am not in favor of doing LLM, 1 year LLM or 11-month LLM from foreign countries.
Okay.
People have money, going abroad, doing LLM, coming back, they are showing the degree they have done LLM. But in fact, they are not much, have knowledge of the law. They are very good in communication, but what is required, that is not there.
Yes.
So that is we can say that there is not a pro things. The negative points are more. So that's why EGC has taken that step now. Here the EGC must come forward to say if anybody is coming from doing LLM from foreign countries, there must be some bridge course if they want to get involved in academics.
Okay.
For academics, 2-year LLM is necessary. Although if anybody want to be involved in litigation only, they can get 1 year LLM or can put their LLM, can show this degree.
Okay.
This,
but for academics, you think 2-year LLM because it will give you better.
Because we have to train the students. If we are not aware, so how we can train the students?
Sure.
So it is very much, and in a degree college or in university, there is no training program. After doing LLM and after clearing this net, you are going to teach the students. So at least they must have studies properly in masters.
Yes.
Yes. So that's why 2-year LLM is required.
2-year LLM is required. Okay, so ma'am, like there are certain states in India which allow students to appear for the judiciary just after completing their LLB. But what I have observed that many of the students face a bit of difficulty in judgment writing skills.
Yes.
And earlier you also mentioned that IP University has that PhDA, but still I am from IP University as well. So judgment writing skill was actually, drafting was there as a subject in the final year. Drafting was there, but judgment writing skill was not there.
Okay.
So how do you think it should be developed among students?
Again, I will say this is the Institute School of Law. This is the faculty member. In fact, must taken care about this thing. Number 1. Number 2, in IP University syllabus in 8th semester, when we study interpretation of statutes, there are 4 activities are mentioned. One is judgment writing, and the another one is legislative drafting. So it totally depends upon the faculty member who is teaching this thing. So here, in fact, I and we are taking care of this thing.
Okay.
So I instruct the faculty member, we have to complete this activity. I need report of this thing. So what we do, we conduct training program, call some expert, outsource person, resource person, or sometime the internal faculty member. We have faculty professor, retired district and session judge. So we conducted training program how to write judgments. Right. And even we try to train them how to write judgment of the civil cases and criminal cases. Lower court judgment and higher judiciary. Yeah. And after that, it is one activity of 8th semester. It is mandatory for them. But what about the other students? So we conducted competition, judgment writing competition.
Okay.
So like that we try to yes.
Okay, so like you mentioned the competition, but since we have seen the moot courts as well, but still there is a big difference between how one presents in the actual court and how one presents in the moot court. It also creates a gap between the presentations, and I am not aware about the judgment writing competition because, being frank, I haven't participated in yet. So the format in judgment writing competition and the actual judgment, is it 100% same or is there any modification?
Sometime it is we try to do the things similar, but it is not actually same. That thing. Okay. If you are talking about, if you are making difference between moot court and judgment writing. Right.
No, I am making the difference between the competition, because at that point
Competition
of time
of judgment writing.
Co-
So we are
yes.
carrying on the thing or the similar way as the judges of the High Court.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. What regarding this, we call the students in the library when there was offline classes. Of course, during Corona,
Yeah.
it is not that much possible as we can. So we call the student. We sit the student along with the student. We sit in the library. We take SEC. Or
Okay.
AIR, All India Reporters, one copy of All India Reporter or one copy of Supreme Court cases. We tell them to read how the citation is written over there, how the facts of the cases are written there, and where is the ratio descendi, where is the obiter dicta. And since SEC is the judgment of the Supreme Court,
Yes.
and AIR is involved High Court cases as well.
Yes.
So we tell them, see what is the difference, how the citation is made for the High Court judgments. So how the judges, the term judges are written, if they are if there is a division bench, how the judges are written
Yes.
there. If there is a majority decision, there is a dissenting opinion. So if there is a no dissenting opinion, so we tell them to find out all these things.
Okay, like
cases.
yes.
Like
so
this,
you bring the habit of first
Yes.
reading the judgment so that they can know how to write one.
Yeah. So when we make this competition, before that I told you I make them train first.
Yes.
So like this we call them all to sit in the library. Like since there is no offline classes now, so what we do or we did, we have given them judgment online. It is everywhere.
Yes.
We have Manupatra, we have SEC online. So we tell the student, just see how Manupatra is reporting the cases of High Court and Supreme Court, like that. And beside this, the scan copy of the SEC judgment we mail them
Okay.
and tell them to read this thing. So give them some time to how to read this, and it is mandatory because there is a 15 marks for PhD and IP University.
Yes, yes.
So we make them mandatory to do this thing. So some are very good, some are in
learning
process. So we tell them to know how to write the judgment.
Okay.
So after that, giving all this thing, we give them hypothetical problem which is released in advance. We tell them what is required, what study material is required to write the judgment. Of course, it is a competition, but they need the
guidance.
They need the material. From there they
yes,
can
yes.
take that. So as per the problem, there is guideline or the roadmap that they have to bring bare acts. They have to bring some
material.
Some material means just cited judgments as well. So when they write, because judges are like that, they have with them arguments of the both this and that. They have the other material also. So like they bring all this thing, keep all this thing with them, and then they start writing
the judgment.
And before that, we have to make the teams. Normally, we make what is there, this constitutional bench, or the full bench, we can say. Constitutional, if there is a constitutional matter. If it is not, then it is a full bench. Full bench is an odd one. So we tell them, like a moot court team, it is a there will be team of one.
Okay.
There will be a team of 3 persons.
3 people
will be known as a one team. So they will be known as a full bench.
Team. Okay.
So like this we try to.
You just trying to bring the practicality into the students' level.
Of course, it will not be in the same way that but we used to call them. You are now the judges of the House of Lord, like this. To just motivate them.
Okay. So that is a very big initiative on the part of James as well as the ma'am, being the HOD of this institution. Ma'am, like you mentioned, again one more thing from your mentioning, the online, like now earlier you used to call the students in library to make them read the judgments and everything. So during this Corona times, the classes has been shifted to online.
Yes.
What are the negative impacts or the positive impacts you are seeing in them
Of online classes.
of that shift?
Yes,
Is it good
yes,
or bad
yes,
or
yes.
what?
Okay, the positive thing is we learn the use of technology in education. So Google is in the market since long time, but we never know there is a Google Queues, there is Google Form, there is Google Sheet. Although I was aware about Google Sheet, Google Form, but not in that much way. And how we can conduct the examination online. So lot of things we have learned about the use of technology in education, of course. But it is good for the faculty member, we can say. We have to learn. We have no other option because we have to teach them. But for the students, it is not that much good as could be, because students are not not having, we can say students are losing their interest to study. As you know, they just join the classes, mute themselves, and sitting here and there, classes is going on. If we tell them to use the camera on all, because it's not possible that when there are 60 students, we cannot tell them to use camera and this and that. So we have to, tell them to switch off their camera. So students are losing their interest in study. This is a very negative impact of the online classes.
Okay, student, because there is no like personal communication with the teacher as well.
Yes.
Like even after classes,
in offline classes, we compel the students to speak out.
Yes, ma'am.
But in online classes, it is not possible. We used to Mr. Rahul, aap boliye, Mr. Rohit, please you speak. But there is just muted. There is a network issue. Sometimes they say, I'm unable to unmute yourself, ma'am. They are writing in the chat box. Now how it is possible? When I have not disable you, but ma'am, this might be network, this and so many excuses they have.
Yeah, right. So that is the damage which the students are facing. So it is.
And one more thing, if a faculty member or teacher is not too much vigilant, there is misuse of this platform by the students. It happen in gyms also, but we control and tell them it is unethical. It will be crime under cyber law. So do not try to do this thing.
Yes.
Do not try to do this thing. So now they understand the things. So things are controlled, but faculty member or the teacher has to be very vigilant.
Very vigilant with the students. So it has been great experience and great learning from all your teachings. But ma'am, one thing, like the students who wants to become an academician like you, what are the words of wisdom or motivation you would like to give them?
Yeah, I must say, as my teacher told when I was studying, that go in library, sit in library for 4 hours. That is very much required. If you study, only then you can. If you study one time, you will get something. If you study the same thing again, then you will get to know the different thing. So sitting in library is very much required. And we can say only study is required.
Only to become a good
study is required, and you have to make some teacher your ideal. That because you have to follow someone.
Yeah.
You have to follow someone.
Yes.
So if you are motivated with his or her your guru, so everyone
needs a mentor and a guide.
Yeah.
So make a guide, have a mentor, and study.
We have to honest with that.
Yes.
We have to honest, and it will pay you. Definitely, the things will return to you.
Okay, so it was a really great message for all the people who wants to enter into the field of academics. So you can see what are the pros and cons right now going in the education system, what ma'am thinks how it should be, and if you think then please mention it in comment whether you agree with ma'am or do you have any other suggestions, so that we can also give it to ma'am so it can be spread across the different institutions. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and thank you ma'am for giving us your precious
Thank you
time.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys. Thank you.